What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 4 Dummies, and tonight I am joined with the other 3 dummies, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it was going to happen this month, but we were able to pull through, and they are Mrs. Skullface.
Hello.
Jisk One.
Yo, what's happening?
And Robert Detoff.
I'm such an a-hole.
Now he's got the taste for blood. We're going to start off, now here, let me tell you something. This gets a little bit of a bumper on this one. Hashtag protect Esteban. I will not allow you, Robert, as a monster to destroy the sweetest the sweetest man I've ever known.
Look, just because you're sweet doesn't mean you're not above a critique.
That's fair. Here it is. This is Esteban's collection.
This is the worst collection I've ever seen. I'm just kidding. I haven't even seen the photo. I haven't even seen the photos.
So you know what strikes me off about this?
The plants.
Immediately.
That's what strikes me. I love them.
Is that like a little stool and a little skateboard for children? Because I don't think they have any children. Or is it something warped? There's like Donald Duck and a rooster.
Like duck things that then there's like some animal looks like some kind of stuffed animal, like a plushie on it.
That thing on the left has seen things.
So for this first bookshelf here, I'll start. He's got like the Dragon Ball Z thing up at the top. He's got some plants, a little bit of life in the room. He's got a lightsaber on the wall. I like the movie bot shelf, like just plain simple. See, I'm too biased here. I can't separate myself. For the listeners, this is the nicest dude on the planet. All right, I'm going to be critical of one. The second shelf down, the little doodads, they're too small. I can't tell what's going on with it. Maybe get that out of here. But
I see 0.
Dude, what if that's like an urn with family members' ashes?
What about the I Am Bobby shelf face?
I know, all the little skull faces and stuff, or those zombie faces.
What if that has people in them? And that's what they look like.
Like, this is something interesting, Esteban. The toys are the least interesting thing you have on your shelf.
That's
all
true.
The other stuff is more interesting to me.
That's true. I'll tell you, I like the little Batman shelf down at the bottom. He's got Batman the Animated Series character with the Batmobile in front of him, the 2 black and white statues of Batgirl and Harley Quinn, and then Kevin Smith down there. I think you should get rid of that little plushie, the little Adam West style plushie. Looking at the whole picture, as it were, the big pieces have probably got to go. The BB-8, the styrofoam to the left, the little weird Mickey Mouse horse thing and stool to the right, they probably got to go.
You know what I think? Honestly, he's got a collection that is interesting enough. I think you just need different furniture because it's not super big and you have a lot of focused stuff. Like you just have the movie bots, you know what I mean? It seems like I know you've got the combiner on the other side, but like that's your Transformers. So I think probably a better way to display the stuff that highlights each one of these things a little bit better.
Yeah, what's funny is he could probably get away with a detail for some of this stuff. Like oddly enough, ironically enough, but like I like he's got like the Joker Harley statues down on the bottom of that shelf. Like that looks good.
Like those are cool.
The animated stuff over top of it. I think that the Anakin and the Obi-Wan isn't
my least favorite.
Yeah,
shelf.
that's not enough for that shelf. And he may have plans
because
for
Anakin
shelf.
has the high ground.
I think it needs some Module cases. It needs like big individual squares.
Yeah.
Where like each thing is kind of like its own little unit.
Yeah, you might be right.
That's what I think. I think because you have interesting sets on their own, but looking at them all together throws the whole aesthetic of it off for me.
Well, I think it looks good, but I think the pink flamingo. There's a couple of things I think I like the espresso shelves, but I think you've got a couple of things throwing things off. First of all, you cannot have Anakin with the high ground. That throws it off. Anybody who's familiar with the material, it's off. You like that because it fills your vertical space, but you got to switch it up somehow. The pink flamingo gotta go. Like it just why is Superion with a pink flamingo?
Well, see, I'll tell you, I think that like this space is kind of like he's filled it with enough random things where like a random flamingo doesn't look out of place. Like,
right, I agree.
Look, and I understand. I get look. It's almost as if his grandma let him use her shelves to put his toys on.
Oh, grandma's credenza, huh?
Like
so
you got
I'll
a pink flamingo, and then
you
have a parrot.
I'll tell you,
he's looking for symmetry.
I get what you mean there. I'll be honest, and I love Esteban. I protect Esteban at all costs, but I get what you mean. I'll also say that like you know what else I like though? I like all the plants. We haven't seen a whole lot of plants, but they do bring a little bit of life into the room.
That actually is great. I love it.
Yeah.
I freaking love it. But you got to get rid of the parrot. Get rid of the flamingo. Dude likes birds. He's got a nest clock.
I don't think you have to get rid of the flamingo, but maybe it's just not the best place for it, or move the Superion.
I think you can condense a lot of this stuff, like the 2 shelves that you have of SH Figuarts movie Marvel stuff can probably go on one shelf if you utilize some risers and stuff. I think it's a weird use of your shelves. Like, there's some stuff where I feel like you could spread out more. There's like some stuff where I don't feel like they belong on the same bookshelf together. It's a weird allocation of resources.
So the only shelf that I really don't care for is the Obi-Wan and Anakin shelf. And I do feel like the shelf on the right, it's got like a lot of different things, but
it works better.
It
works better.
The one on the left just looks, because you have that big open space with I'm talking with Obi-Wan and Anakin, and then you have Harley and Joker at the bottom.
White privilege.
It's like too much. There's too much open space, whereas maybe if you had like one of those larger open space shelves on either side, it would work better. And then I don't love directly under the TV. I'm funny about cords.
I think
maybe it's just
I don't think it's
open.
the squares. Yeah, I think it's just
that you're open and you're looking into
that clone helmet needs to go all the way in the shelf or not be in it.
Yeah, maybe move some of those books somewhere else. I don't know, but I mean, I like it. I like the plants. I like that there's a flamingo there, because guess what?
It's random.
Some people have things that they appreciate and they want to look at that aren't just toys. And
So,
I think that's
flamingo?
okay.
I agree.
Like, you can display that in your toy world or in your collection or whatever.
I was going to piggyback off of your point and say that, like, the reason why the bookshelf on the right works better than the bookshelf on the left is because the bookshelf on the left is super organized, but also random, and the bookshelf on the right is just seemingly random. I'm sure it makes sense to them, but, like, the little, like, yarn clock next to the cat, next to the totem or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, it's all over the place. So because it's all over the place, it also makes sense.
He should look for more symmetry between the two. Like, you got the Anakin shelf and the Joker shelf. They shouldn't be on the same billy. He should put one
I
on each
agree
billy.
100% with Robert. You need to organize those shelves so that at least they look symmetrical. You don't have to put what's on.
You're right.
Just the space of the shelves should match.
But all I'm saying is that helmet should go on an Anakin mannequin.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This is Paolo. Unfortunately, we don't get a whole lot of the full space here. I don't think we need to spend a whole lot of time on this one, but what he needs is risers because they just look like a sea of things, like at the same level.
I kind of like the Optimus and Megatron shells on the bottom, like the bottom two.
Yeah, I wish he actually had a better picture of those.
They're a little blurry.
Something we haven't seen necessarily, but like the shadows of the shelf above cast along the wall on the back make the whole space a little confusing.
Glass bottom.
Where it just seems like too much. It seems too busy, and it is too busy. And mainly because, like, if you look at like the one shelf in particular, right, with the cone heads and the Seekers and Soundwave, like they're just
that's what I was just looking at.
All of those characters are roughly the same size, and they're just standing, looking straight forward. And like you just need to you have the vertical space, get some risers, get some of them up off the glass, and lift them up a little bit. And I think that you'll find that this space is more rewarding. I think you actually have. I don't know what shelving system this is, but I think it actually kind of works. You just need to lift some of them up a bit.
Again, I think it is. You get to the point at some point where you just like you don't have to display everything. Like, I think it's better just to display a few things and maybe switch them out from time to time versus just cramming everything.
This is like an elevated utility. It's not a utility shelf, but it acts like one because it's just the frame with glass bottoms and it doesn't have the rivet holes.
But I think it does a much better job, though. I think it does a much better job than a utility shelf.
So it's like you almost need your shelves to provide the frame, and it can't just be an outline. And that's what's weird about that stuff when you get shelves going like that, you know?
But I think it'll seem less that way if you get those guys up off the floor in the back to kind of fill out the back space of that wall.
But then you're going to have, I mean, I like what you're saying, but then the back wall, looking at the big picture, which we don't get.
Right.
It's going to be just like a painted wall of figures if they're all on risers top to bottom.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is, but at least you'll be able to see them and it won't just be a sea of heads.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you should try risers. You're right. He might really go places.
Yeah.
And plants.
I don't agree with the plants. You don't have enough space.
A couple of succulents.
No.
Just succulents.
You're a
I still have
succulent.
my 2 plants from Esteban and they're thriving.
That's
in the
succubus.
kitchen.
You know what's crazy? Go to the last photo of like the Autobot shelf, but look down at the Decepticon shelf. It almost, maybe it's the angle, but it looks like they're on risers on that one.
Yeah,
it's gotta be
maybe it must be the angle of the dangle.
But look at that photo for what we're talking about. Just you
actually,
can see how
they might be on some sort of riser. Like if you look at Sunstorm in the straight on picture, it might be, but you need to get him up further. Either way, you need to.
Or he's got doubles because Galvatron's not in the other one. Maybe it's a totally different shelf because Galvatron's not in the other one.
Yes, he is. He's in the middle. The black bar is blocking him.
Oh, you're right. I see it there.
That's the utility fail, man.
Yeah, and you're right. That you have to take that black bar into consideration. You need to treat that as if it's kind of a wall, just in regard to faces and stuff. Like you need to be able to see the character's face. If the black bar blocks some of the arm or whatever, I think everybody will kind of like your brain kind of puts the pieces together. But when you don't see the face and you just see the arms, and I think it's a little strange.
I know why. I know what he's standing his seekers on.
Oh boy,
MP cassette boxes.
I mean, that works. You're not going to see them. I don't judge you for that. Listen, if you have something that works and you don't have to buy a riser, don't do that. Just because Robert has more money than God,
so much better.
Jameson out of a coffee cup.
Moving along. This next one is from Karl.
Combat Karl.
Ooh. Okay.
Please tell me.
Look, this. Whoa. All right. This is not beyond salvageable.
Really?
I really, truly believe that. This glass case is nice.
I agree. The glass case is nice. But, dude, what's crazy? Is that a loft? Are all those top bots going to fly off the back of that? Look at the mid bar, dude. Like, look at behind the case. It's up against, like, a little half wall.
Yeah, it looks like it.
That's risky.
This dude has balls that are huge.
Why is Devastator robbing Omega Supreme?
I don't know, but at least they're posed and they're.
Why
like
Scorponok got a question?
I would go less with the versus battle mode here. I get what you're trying to do, but I feel like it's more distracting than it is purposeful.
Yo, he's got a Nemesis Matrix.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think that this has a lot of potential. I think those glass cases are cool. Once again, like the displacement of them is a little strange. Like I would probably go, like you see the shelf with Overlord, I would probably make an attempt to have every shelf about that size and use a set of risers or something to like lift stuff off the back and put stuff in the, because like it looks too squished and crunched and compartmentalized, whereas like that one shelf with Overlord really looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, I agree. I think you need to light them too at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think you need to change the lighting out on these like corner shelves that you have to have these UFO puck lights is a bit crazy.
I think I know why he has his big bot standing sideways. It's to prevent them toppling back down that staircase.
Right.
And that's why he's got Scorponok asking a question, so all that weight is leaning forward.
Right.
That's risky, man. That's risky business.
Yeah, either way, I respect your bravery. Yeah, I think if you made every cube about the size, because you can do it, you just take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 glass shelves and you have the space, and use risers, open them up a bit, let them breathe a little bit. I think that you'll be better off. And also, like, I'll tell you a hard lesson I learned, but like get some of that fluff out of here. Get the cage out of here. Get the blast effects on Galvatron out of here. Get the Energon cubes out of here. Like the little drum that Wreck-Gar beats his axe against.
Get that out of here.
Yeah, get it out of here. And like,
what about Scourge? Get him out of here.
No, you can have a Scourge.
Who is it that's always talking about wanting to hang the jets from wires from the ceiling? Is that Laura?
Yeah, Laura.
I like to hang.
What if you did it inside the case?
Oh, maybe. Laura doesn't like that though. She wants
I didn't.
She wants you swatting at them like gnats.
Like Laura, how do you feel about the wires near that computer there on the left?
Yeah, the wire control needs a little help. What do you think about the corner shelves?
Like I said, the lights need to go.
Well, I don't. The bottom shelf is too small for the bottom shelf. The middle shelf's too big for the middle shelf. Like, does that make sense?
You need to swap those two. Like, put Minosaur and Bruticus on the bottom and put the other 3 on the middle. Like, that's an easy fix. Like, and I definitely agree.
Bruticus looks like he's just fed up. He's like, give me some elbow room.
And I get that the puck lights are easy, but
yeah,
they kind of stand out.
The what lights?
Like the
puck lights.
They kind of stand out like.
Or you just get one different one. Yeah, you need a better lighting system in there.
Laura, you need to control yourself.
Yeah, to me that seems a little strange to have like those three, and you put two of them in. Well, you have the two of them in Dino mode, and they're even smaller. Like that seems like a quick, easy fix. How you have Minosaur and Bruticus kind of facing the same direction. I would put them kind of back to back, facing opposite directions, like shoulder to shoulder, like in a triangle. I think that would look better, also.
Oh, like a Tango and Cash pose.
Exactly. Exactly.
Arms crossed. One with arms crossed, one with hands on hips.
But I think it would.
Hands on the gun. You got to have the gun up.
But I think it would work. So here's the thing. Ultimately, I think that you have enough here to make something really good. I think you just need to rethink how you have it.
Can I bring one thing up?
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. The shelf with Scourge, Cyclonus, and who is that? Starscream?
Yes.
Who is that with? I think it's the first time we've seen like a shelf, a glass shelf with three, planes, or for lack of a better term, each on a stand. Now, it's the same problem as having three figures of the same height.
Yep.
Kind of. I think you can get away with having one up and two down.
Yep.
I mean, they're on glass anyway.
Yep. Or two down and one up. Like you could do
Yeah,
either
you gotta
or.
play with that space.
Yep, exactly.
The blast effects on the Galvatron. Look at them; they're just failing.
I know.
Where?
Because that plastic's too heavy. That plastic that
it's
Fans
just like-
Toys used is too
If
heavy.
you got to link it together and it doesn't balance out, it just looks like it's just the saddest blast.
All right, you ready? This is the next and last one for this episode. This is Ryan R.
I really hope that R stands for regret.
Yeah, and my man. So he's not giving us the full space, and that's on purpose.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah. So here's the thing: a couple of risers, and you can sort your IDW shelf out. But Twin Twist and Topspin are 100% dancing with one another. You can break up that dance.
It's a elementary school dance. Hands on shoulders.
The Beast Wars shelf, you got the good guys on one side. You plan on putting the bad guys on the other side. Don't. Just split them up and fill the space. And the Lost Light shelf, I think, looks good. But once again, you need risers. You need to start rethinking furniture. I don't know what's going on here because you haven't given us like full space. But I know that space is obviously an issue. And I know that you need risers. I know that you need to break this stuff up a little bit. And ironically, the Beast Wars stuff, you need to spread out a little bit. Who else has?
I'll tell you, I don't know what's above the Generation 1 shelf, but it's looking like it's starting to bow. And I don't know if you've seen those photos that's floating around of the guy who had the white plastic version of these shelves, and they fell apart. Like, furniture is I think your first thing. I would just switch out this furniture before you start moving these pieces around.
Agreed.
If you can.
And I think you have your figures on cardboard. I would fix that immediately.
It's on card.
He's like, I got all these on card.
It's mint on card. Oh, Laura, you're funny.
But I like your love for IDW. I respect that.
I think his shelves are not. I think whatever the surface is, they're not flat.
They're graded.
That's why he's got the cardboard. They've got waffles. They're like waffle shelves.
Yep, I would agree.
And I think this looks like an early collection. So even if you go and just buy those Walmart versions, like their versions of Billy's, which I think are a little bit cheaper than like a Billy, like I would definitely. Your first priority needs to be to get rid of those plastic.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Shelves.
Timmy's?
Yeah, because ultimately it's dangerous. Like because like they fail. They don't hold up. They're not meant for this.
No.
And like your stuff is at risk. And there's a fair amount. Like if you look at like the Lost Light shelf, like he's got like that's the MMC Megatron, that's the Make Toys Tailgate. I think that's the SXS Hot Rod. Or Rodimus, MMC Blur, MMC Drift, Make Toys Swerve. Like he's got like nice pieces on this shelf. So like just don't gamble with it, man. Like you spent a lot of money on this stuff. Like buy some proper furniture so that your stuff is not at risk.
Right, I agree.
You know what shocks me? Laura, her silence is deafening. I thought she would white knight this thing.
What do you got? You better get something.
No, I mean,
I don't know,
it's not
man.
great. It's not great.
I thought she would Joan of Arc it, and she didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot positive to offer, but I feel like that you guys have kind of covered. They, need to be spread out. They need to be balanced. They need risers. They need
a lot.
They need a lot. Yeah, they need a lot.
You got a lot. You got your work cut out for you.
A little helping hand.
Ryan.
Korean White Knight.
Oh, Joan of Arc.
Jameson.
Oh, Jameson.
In a coffee cup.
In a coffee mug.
Korean barbecue and irony. I want you to find an image for irony, even if it's just an iron. I'm good with that.